Okay, this is page 46, the homework problems. Problem number 1, company AA is expected to pay an end-of-the-year dividend of $4 a share. Since that's end of the year, that'll be D1. Remember to keep straight between D0 and D1. D0 is something that's already been paid, the present payment that was already made, or the present value of it. D1 is going to be made in the future. After the dividend, its stock is expected to sell at $42. So that means after 1 year, that stock is expected to sell for $42. If the required return is 12%, what is the current stock price? So all you're going to do in this case is you're going to find out those two cash flows. One is the sale of the stock, and the other is the dividend. You're going to find out the present value of those two. So in that case, you're going to find P0, which is price at the 0 year. And that's the dividend in year 1 over 1 plus the rate of return R, which in this case is 12%, exponent 1 because it's for 1 year, and the price, P1 in 1 year, over 1 plus R, which is the 12% required return rate, exponent 1 for 1 year. So that's $4 for the dividend over 1.12 to the first power, and $42 over 1.12 to the first power. That should say first power on it right there. Okay, so you can actually add these two together since they're the same year. So it would be 46 over 1.12 to the first power, or I did it separate in this case, so it's $3.57. That's what $4 is. Discounted back to the, D0, that'd be D0 in that case. But you're just trying to find the price, the overall price. And $37.50 would be $42 discounted back 1.12 over 1. So the price P0 of the stock would sell for $41.07. Okay, problem number 2. Company BB does not plow back any of its earnings and is expected to produce a level dividend stream of $5 a share. Find the required return if the current stock price is $40, which would be P0. Okay, so when it doesn't plow back any earnings, that means it has no retained earnings. It gives everything out in a dividend. So we'll go through the formula for that. Basically, if you remember back, there's a formula in one of the pages that is R, which is the rate of return, and this is just moving around the numbers a little, or the formula a little bit, equals D1 divided by P0 in parentheses plus G. D1 divided by P0 is dividend 1 divided by the price at year 0. That gives you the dividend yield, and G gives you the growth rate. Now they told you another way on one of the earlier pages to figure out the growth rate is G equals B, and B is retained earnings, the retained earnings ratio, times ROE, which is return on investment. Okay, but if the company does not plow back any of its earnings, that means that the company does not retain any earnings. So B in this case would equal 0. So if G equals B times ROE and B equals 0, then G equals 0 in this case. So what you can do is then R, the rate of return, just equals D1 over P0, which is also the dividend yield. Remember, that part of the formula is only the dividend yield. So they told you that the price, or the dividend, is $5. It's a level dividend stream of $5 a share. Okay, and they told you the current price is $40. So that tells you R equals 0.125 or 12.5%, which is equal to the dividend stream, or dividend yield. And that's because G equals 0 in this case. So you don't add G to the, or G just becomes 0 in that formula. Okay, question number 3. Company CC's dividend per share are expected to grow indefinitely by 5% a year. Find the current price P0 if next year's dividend is $20. That's D1, and the required return is 9%. Okay. So we flip that over. And for problem number 3, you use the formula for the constant dividend growth formula. The constant dividend growth formula, let's just cover the rest of this up, is PT, so P for whatever time frame, equals DT plus 1 over R minus G. So they gave you a couple different things in this case. They gave you the dividend, the rate of growth, and the required return. So you're trying to find out what P0 is, the price at 0 year. So D1 was $20, and the required return was 9%, the rate of growth was 5%. So $20 over R minus G, which is $20 over 0.04 equals $500. So that's how you figured out. So that's when you got a constant rate of growth, dividend growth. You use the formula PT equals DT plus 1 over R minus G.